I have so much to say. Welcome to Mode Theory, where I talk about anything TV, film, book related, essentially media analysis. And honestly, even though it's my first video, I'm just gonna go straight in. Um, Disclaimer: if you can hear like children screaming in the background, my neighbor's kids are having like a birthday party, and I'm so sorry if you can hear them, bless them. I just don't have any other time to film this video and get it out when I need it out. So bear with me there. I'm just going to go straight in because this is my channel, and today we're going to be discussing Euphoria. Just for reference, I've watched Euphoria now all the way from season 1 up until right now. So I'm in the UK, meaning I haven't seen season 3, episode 3 yet. So this is like a short review basically from season 1 up until where I currently am. And honestly, this video is going to be cut into 2 pieces. I'm just going to go with the things I like right now and with the things I don't like right now. I'm going to try and start off positive, because like I said, I have a lot of opinions. I can honestly say that I like Euphoria for the fact that its rawness most times, and you'll see why I'm saying it that way later on in my video, is good to have on screen. You know, I really think it's important to see people's lives that are very, very different from yours, because honestly, it broadens your perspective and you can see lives that people are really living. So for example, Rue is a very important character because she obviously has her drug addiction storyline, and she struggles with that addiction. Now, growing up, we all hear, oh, drugs are bad, don't get addicted to drugs. But unless you have someone in close proximity, whether it's a family friend, a mother-daughter, you will never really grasp how unfortunate drug addiction can be and how it can really alter your relationships in your life. So I think it's good to have rawness in that sense. I also love the character development all the way from season 1. It really feels like I've actually grown with these characters, because I swear Euphoria came out in 2019. It's been a while. And there are characters that I love, Maddie, and characters that I absolutely can't stand, Nate. And the great things about these characters is that they can evoke real emotions from their viewers, which to me is a job well done. Like, we've been dragging Nate since season 1, like he deserves, and we've loved Maddie since season 1, Queen. Yeah, I really love seeing Alexa Demi on my screen. And even back to Rue, like, Rue is such a great character because I really do believe you get the best of both worlds of Rue. You have obviously the rawness of her addiction, but at times Rue is extremely funny, and I don't see Zendaya when I'm watching Rue, which I think is a really, really good thing. I don't see the two overlap. That is Rue and that is Zendaya, which is phenomenal acting. Okay, now time for the things that I'm not a very big fan of. And these are things that I think have organically developed since season 1. And this is just where I stand. I'm going to start off light, not too heavy. We'll start off with Labyrinth, the lack of Labyrinth. I don't know why he decided not to be on the project. He clearly wasn't happy about something. I think he announced like a week before it coming out, season 3 coming out, that he was just done. Fair. The thing is I have felt Labyrinth's absence this season. I really have felt it heavily, to a point where I'll be watching a scene and it's like I can almost hear the music in my head and how it's supposed to sound, but that's not what I'm hearing on the screen. It's my imagination. For example, that scene when they're explaining what Maddie's been up to in her life, I know Labyrinth would have done a really good job of that scene, music-wise anyway. It's a shame, but ultimately he made a decision for himself. I'm not even going to go into why he made that decision. So that's that. Second reason is, and it kind of ties in with my first reason, is that this feels like I'm watching a Western. We've gone from the very aesthetic that made Euphoria so unique. You know, the grunginess with the purple and the glitter on there, the glitter in the makeup, the unique sound with Labyrinth, obviously. And it just feels like I'm watching a show that I've honestly never seen before. It's a Western. Or that's the closest thing I can call it anyway. To be fair, in their defense, because they're older now, I guess, for example, Maddie can't exactly rock up to her office job with like glitter in her eyes. I get that they've grown up, but it would have been nice to keep some of the signature look in this season, because that's what made it so distinctive and that's what people loved about it. Like, I literally remember when Euphoria came out, and people, including me by the way, would do their own versions of the makeup on like TikTok and YouTube and whatever. So I don't know, it just feels like an end of an era, but hey, they're wrapping it up anyway. No glitter. Now, the last point I would like to make is very important and quite controversial, and I feel very strongly about it. In a nutshell, Euphoria, especially in this season, just feels like a humiliation ritual towards women, or of the women on the show. I, first of all, find it quite sus that in a group of high school friends, like 90% of them, or of the women, 90% of the women have gone on to do some sort of line that's in role with the adult entertainment industry. I just think it's a very questionable choice. It's questionable because, like, damn, like, you're telling me it's only Lexi that has no ties with that industry at all. And by the way, this is not me in any way shaming people in that industry. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm trying to make is that a grown man is directing this, and what is your obsession with putting women at the center of these types of storylines? We all know that people do go into those industries, and that's completely fine. But you chose like a majority of the women on the show to be a part of those industries. Like, damn, no one wanted to be, I don't know, a lawyer, a writer, a teacher. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of options that are still realistic, right? But you chose to do this instead. Fine. And that takes me on to my second point. In that sometimes, and this is very interesting because, like I said earlier, Euphoria's been out for a long time. And it's almost like my mind that I used to watch it is not the same mind I have now. I'm looking at the show in a bit more of a critical lens almost. Not nitpicking, but I'm more fueled by like, but why did you try and do that? Or why did you choose to depict that in that way? There are a lot of things, in my opinion, and in many viewers' opinions, that just don't need to be included. Like, we get the innuendo that you're trying to portray and wrap it up. For example, when Rue has to swallow those packages from episode 1, it's very clear that an innuendo was trying to be portrayed. It's very clear that they were told to swallow the packages in a particular way that mirrors something else, like, we're not stupid. Or you see how they had to, like, obviously poop the packages out. Was the dog licking the diarrhea necessary? I don't think it was necessary. Allegedly, there are a couple of scenes where Cassie was supposed to be like completely topless, and allegedly she would be like, well, actually, I don't think that's needed right here, and they would take it out. Which leads me to my next point around that whole you know, the scene where Cassie is like, they're showcasing Cassie's like content. The whole baby thing, like dressing up as a baby, was so unnecessary to me and just quite disgusting. Quite disgusting, in my opinion. Like, you can tell an audience that someone obviously is in that industry without having to portray that. It just wasn't necessary. Like, damn. Honestly, it's a shame because it's like I said before, you want the rawness, and I really understand the concept of wanting to portray realism, but there is a thin line, in my opinion, between realism and you just kind of orchestrating your own weird fantasies on screen and using women to do that. Like, because even when I go back and think about season 1, is it not just a tad bit strange that, I don't know, teenagers, I don't want to go into it. Yeah, you get the point I'm trying to make. I'm not even sitting here saying I'm like the biggest hater of Euphoria. Like, look, I've been watching it since season 1. However, it has gotten to a point where I think I'm just watching it now in the spirit of, let me finish what I started and just wrap this up for good. There are so many red flags sometimes that I can't, as a woman, I can't just like turn a blind eye to. I know I'm not the only one, because boy, Twitter has been going crazy because people are picking up on sometimes just the unnecessary scenes that don't need to be there, or people are picking up on the fact that, you know, a lot of the women are represented just in a certain way all the time. Let me know what you think in the comments, like and subscribe, and stay tuned to Mode Theory. I doubt this will be my last video on Euphoria because we still have a long way to go. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.